You just made the list!
Mark your calendars for Insights EDU 2025, February 12th through 14th. Insights EDU 2025 is the can't-miss higher education marketing and enrollment management conference of the year. We're taking over New Orleans with speakers from Google, Meta, Reddit, MIQ Digital, and top schools across the country. Discover how AI is transforming marketing and enrollment management, how to assess online program opportunities, and meet the demands of today's modern learner. Don't wait. Spots are going quickly. Register now at insightsedu.com. Welcome to the era of the modern learner.
Let's go!
Are you going to miss Ellucian Live this year?
I don't think so.
Exactly. So you might as well register right now at elive.ellucian.com. Ellucian Live 2025, April 6th through 9th in Orlando, Florida. Do not miss it.
Do you want to get exclusive early access to ad-free episodes, extended episodes, bonus episodes, original content, invites to special events, and more? Do you want to accelerate your professional development? Do you want to get all this while helping to sustain EdUp? Then go to edupexperience.com. That's EDUP experience.com and become a subscriber today.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. We're making your education your business here at the Middle States Commission on Higher Education in downtown Philadelphia, the annual conference with over 1,600 of our colleagues across higher education. It's amazing, right? There's a buzz in the air. People are talking about the value that we have here in higher education. We just heard an amazing plenary speaker, which my guest will talk about. Let me get her in now, because she has, if there's one thing I know about my guest co-host, she has a lot to say. Ladies and gentlemen, hear the song, Dr. Heather Perfetti. Do you think this song's perfect for you? She's the president and CEO of the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. Just let it go. Let it go. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Joe.
Talk to it.
Yeah, I'm feeling really special with that introduction, and you really upped your game this time, so I'm impressed.
Well, thank you very much. If I can impress you, then I know I'm doing a good job. We have two amazing guests with us today. I don't think I can leave them without a song, so I've got one here. Let's see what I got. We have Drs. Kate Conway Turner, Chair-elect, and Dr. Davie Gilmour, current Chair of the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. Oh, they're just entering the room. Wait. They're sitting down. It's like an entrance music. Here they are. Ladies, what's going on? How are you?
It's great. Nice to be here, Joe.
Welcome back, you guys. It's been a full year since I saw you last time in this very building here in downtown Philadelphia, where we got to speak about higher education. What's happened in the last year? A little bit, I would say, maybe a lot. First of all, Davie, let's start with you. You know, you've been chair for a while. You're the outgoing chair, current and outgoing chair. You've provided incredible, outstanding. Any other adjectives you could think of?
Amazing.
Oh, shoot. I didn't have it ready.
I know. I'm covering for you, Joe.
By the way, Tracy Schneider, legal counsel, is heckling the group here as a show. This is actually what happens when we're recording live.
If I shout loud enough, can I get myself on the podcast?
She just got herself on the podcast by shouting out enough.
100%.
She's on it. Davie, what has it meant to you to be chair of Middle States, and why is this conference, the record attendance, kind of signifies your influence?
Oh, I don't think the record attendance signifies my influence, but it does signify the importance of higher education in today's world, and in particular, the role Middle States plays in that. My role as chair has been probably one of the most rewarding things I've done as a professional. Working with the staff, working with an incredible group of commissioners has been nothing short of really exciting, spectacular. It's been challenging work. You know, I was chair through COVID, so we went through all of that. But most importantly, our work is focused on what we can do for students, and that's really why we get up every day and do what we do. So I've enjoyed every minute of it. I will miss it a little bit, and I wish Kate all the best because she's going to do a great job. So it's time for change, and I look forward to what's going to come under her leadership.
And Heather, what word did you say earlier to describe?
Amazing.
All right, I had to do it. Now, Heather, is there any question that you had live here on the EdUp Experience podcast to ask the current outgoing chair that you just have been saving for this moment of pressure? Anything?
I think so. but I haven't had enough wine. So,
what has the relationship been like?
Davie is amazing, and I think she is underselling herself as chair. We could not have made the progress that we have made as an accreditor without Davie's leadership and without Kate's leadership and without the full support of our executive committee and the entire commission. They are a brave board. And we all know how important governance is, not just for our institutions, but also for us as an accreditor. And Davie has led the way. And what I will always remember about Davie, which was so special, is she very much invests in hearing about the people and what is not just top of mind from an accreditation perspective, but what are our personal and professional challenges. And she's just an incredible listening ear. And I think they've really treasured that, and they're going to miss that about her and her leadership.
Epic.
That's a heck of a compliment there.
It was. It's nice. Very nice to hear.
Pay her the $10 later.
I will. I'll buy her a glass of wine.
So as one influential chair finishes her tenure, another influential chair-elect takes that. And Kate, we've had the pleasure of talking together. Last year I was able to interview you. What's this responsibility like for you coming in? I mean, do you go, okay, what the heck do I do? No, you probably know a little bit.
Well, it's certainly an exciting time to be doing this work with Middle States. I have enjoyed so much working with Davie, and she's been really an amazing leader, and certainly big shoes to fill as we move forward. But it's an amazing time for higher education, and I couldn't say more about the staff at Middle State and how much I really appreciate the work they do, and just think they're tremendous. They're really tremendous. I mean, Heather, of course, we have with us today, but the entire staff, is really amazing and really understands the importance of quality education to benefit the needs of our students and for student success. And so I'm, looking forward to working with Heather in this new way, and I'm looking forward to building on the legacies that Davie did and continuing some of her many wonderful practices as chair, and to continue to work as we move ahead.
Heather, we had a heck of a plenary speech, but keynote. Who gave the keynote? What was so significant about it for the audience? And maybe you all could comment on what it meant to you.
Well, it was Dr. John B. King Jr., who's the chancellor of our largest public system of higher education, and that is the State University of New York. And Kate and I both worked in the State University of New York in different capacities. But we've heard the feedback with people saying that was a great way to kick off the conference. It was really inspirational. And I think during these turbulent times, it encouraged people to get centered and stay centered around what's most important, and that is the students. And Joe, that it is often our message about the work of accreditation is about the students. I know sometimes people don't believe it, and they're critical of the work that we do, but it's
just a lack of understanding.
It is really about the work of students. And Kate is a great example of a president out of that system who centered students in all of the right ways. And Davie, also, tremendous amount of experience, always focused on the students. So I would ask Kate to talk a little bit more. She obviously part of the system, and Davie, I know the messages were resonating with her. They were so meaningful for our audience and so meaningful for us and so critical at this moment in time.
What do you think, Kate?
Yeah, I think that Chancellor King did an amazing job of really laying out what's really important about higher education, and that is elevating students to be all that they can be and providing the opportunities for them. I feel really honored to have been in the SUNY system in two different roles, both as provost and as a president in the system. I always felt that I really related to our students as a first-generation college-educated student myself. And so I know how education opens doors. There was no one in my family that had ever darkened the door of higher education. And yet here I sat here as a retired president. And so education just can really open doors in an amazing way. And so I was really taken by how well he was able to give the SUNY mission and describe it and delineate it for the audience in a way that I really felt that people really got it and really understood it and really saw the student-centeredness of it.
And I'm going to interrupt because these are two presidents that students knew. And I know they're proud of that, and we're proud of that, and the experience for students under their leadership was exceptional. And I know they both talk about it, and they both are very proud of that work with students and the recognition that their time also needed to be given to students in really meaningful ways.
What do you think, Davie?
You know, for me, it was inspiring, and it's inspiring in an interesting way. I look at Middle States, and I think of us as a quality assurance group. You know, our job is to make sure that the members in the organizations we work with, the educational institutions we work with, are providing a quality experience for students. And what I heard tonight was someone who's not afraid to challenge the status quo.
Now listen up.
Not afraid to suggest that the way we have to look and work and act and encourage students is sometimes innovative. It's sometimes challenging the status quo. It's sometimes a different way of thinking. And I think that's so important because we can't always do...
Don't mind the audience.
No.
It's celebrating your comments. It's amazing how excited they are.
We can't always do what people expect us to do. And what I heard from him was somebody who's strong in conviction, using data to do his work, and never losing the passion. And he used that word repeatedly throughout his remarks about why he's doing it. It's the total package. And so I am grateful for the young people who live in the state of New York and have the opportunity to pursue education through the SUNY system because they have an incredible opportunity ahead of them.
One thing he said that I was like, yes, was a college degree, a 2- and 4-year college degree may not be for everyone, but you sure need a heck of a lot of people around you with those degrees. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I mean, when you really get down to brass tacks. So when we pull down the value of higher education, we're actually pulling down the ability for us to, I don't know, have longer lives, have medical attention, have, psychology, if we need to go get mental health checks. I mean, you just think about the impacts of that. And I've said it 1 million times in this podcast, I mean 1 million. These people that are saying that a college degree doesn't have value are going home and telling their kids, and he said it too, to go to college. Because you would never tell somebody not to go get an education. You just wouldn't. How do you as a human just go, you know what? You're just not going to make it, Heather. You're just not going to make it. Don't go to college. Do something else that's... I mean, you might say choose something else if that's what you want, but you wouldn't dissuade somebody from doing it if they wanted to, don't you think?
No, I absolutely agree, and I think we present this as an either-or conversation, and it really is not. It's not one or the other. And our institutions are showing the many ways that they're being innovative to respond to student needs and student-specific scenarios, creating alternative pathways, creating opportunities for any student to better themselves. And I think we're all in education for that reason. And so I think that resonated with the audience. I saw a lot of head nodding. I saw a lot of agreement. And of course, we saw a standing ovation at the end of the plenary. And so I know it resonated with our entire audience, and it certainly resonates with our students.
Well, if you're someone who's looking to have economic development in the state of New York, what you heard tonight is the perfect commercial, is exactly why New York is the place you should go, because he talked about all the graduates that they are producing across a wide spectrum of programs that touch every part of our human lives. And if I were sitting there and I were an investor trying to decide if I wanted to go to New York State, that message tonight would have sold me that New York State's the place I want to go. If you want economic development, if you want prosperity, if you want an educated workforce, I mean, and I know that wasn't the intent of his message, but how could you not sit there and hear that?
Exactly. And by the way, your favorite podcaster went to a SUNY school. Who could I be talking about? Me, of course.
Of course.
one thing I've been meaning to bring up amongst the three of you, now that I have you here recording live and everything you say is recorded and taped and will go out. Honestly, and I've told Heather this before a bunch of times, Heather and her leadership in talking about accreditation to the masses through social media, which I think if you're not on social, you're just not as relevant as you could be if you were. And everybody's on social media, even LinkedIn, everything else. So she's very vocal. She's out there. She's putting the message out there. I don't know that that's as widespread amongst other CEOs, accreditors, and the board plays an important part of that, right? Because you could go, oh, what the heck is the CEO doing? Immediately take that down. And wait a minute, we're giving opinions, we're putting them out there. So the both of you obviously have some control and influence in that. How important is it to be visible right now? Attention, higher ed leaders. Are you ready to transform your marketing and enrollment strategy? Don't miss Insights EDU, February 12th through 14th in New Orleans, the premier conference for higher education marketing and enrollment management. Spots are filling fast. Register now at insightsedu.com. Welcome to the era of the modern learner.
Let's go!
At Ellucian Live 2025, we're going to explore the magic of innovation. We want to imagine, believe, and achieve. It's happening April 6th through 9th, 2025 in Orlando, Florida, and we're going to explore technology, modernization, and
Artificial intelligence.
explore the latest technology solutions, discover industry insights, and make valuable connections as a global community. It's time to register for Ellucian Live 2025 at elive.ellucian.com.
Do you want to accelerate your professional development? Do you want to get exclusive early access to ad-free episodes, extended episodes, bonus episodes, original content? That's right, original content, invites to special events, and more? Do you want to get all this while helping to sustain EdUp? Then go to edupexperience.com. That's EDUP experience.com and subscribe today.
I think it's one. Oh, go ahead.
I should have been like, so you go first.
We're fighting for this. We're actually fighting for this. I think it's all about advocacy for higher education and the importance of higher education. And so being in social media, getting the voice out there really helps people to understand things that maybe they would not know. And so people are getting this counter narrative that education is not important. And so it is our responsibility to counter that with the good information that Heather and her team puts forth to advocate for the importance of higher education. So if nothing else, think about this. All of us cross bridges from time to time.
Yep.
Does anyone want to cross a bridge that does not have an educated person who built that bridge, that designed that bridge and put that bridge together? And so I think that the advocacy for higher education is so important, particularly in today's world when there are, as you say, people who are giving a counter narrative that really demonizes education.
I think it's the hallmark of Heather's presidency of the commission. I truly do. And when we get our reports and we look page after page after page of not only where Heather is, but where she's advocating for all of the staff to go. And I'm not just talking about one or two people or a vice president or chief of staff, but across the spectrum of the staff who make up the commission. That is, for me, the inspiration of a leader who understands the value of the messaging, the value of the multiple places for the messaging, and instills that value in the people who she works with. For me, it's one of the most significant hallmarks of her leadership that she has done for Middle States.
Well, and she's gotten me in a couple fights through LinkedIn.
She?
Well, she doesn't know this. I feel like she comes into the office and goes, Joe got into it with these people, and all I did was post it. Because she, obviously, I'm a big advocate of the work that you do, and I know a lot about accreditation generally. And I feel, affinity and a necessity to support accreditors who are coming out and stating this is what we do, because there are so many myths that are not true about what accreditors are doing, and more importantly, myths about what they're not doing, which if you know, you know. But not a lot of us talk about it. So when she comes out and she'll post something, and then I see somebody go and say, this Heather Perfetti and she doesn't know what she's doing. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, dude. So then I'm in like a 15 comment battle, and I feel like she comes in and goes, yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. Is that what you're doing?
wounding him up.
That's right. I'm like, let's just wait on Joe for this one. No, I think that, and Joe, you know this. I mean, when you invited me to the first podcast years ago, I wasn't afraid to come and talk about what we do. And it's not because we're perfect. It is because we're transparent. We recognize everything is an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity for us to improve what we do. And we want to celebrate the good work that we do, but also we want to learn from our critics. So we're not afraid of our critics. And I've had the conversation with Davie. I've had the conversation with Kate. If we're making the right decisions, then we can defend them and we can be proud of them. And so it is about our being proud of our work, but also having a board that supports improvement efforts, supports being mindful of how the public perceives us, and where they bring issues to our attention, which we are mindful of. They have heard policy feedback from the public and from our constituents that informed the end product. So we take the feedback, we value the feedback, and so we see, some of the public disdain for accreditors, but we want to make the effort to make sure that people are well informed and that their opinion is based on facts. And I think that, about me is all about, I want people to have the facts and form their opinion about us based on that.
Speaking of opinions, we have an administration change. I think anybody who is not talking about the value of accreditation is probably going, oh, crap, we should have been out there talking about the value of accreditation. It's not hard to find that there are a lot of questions about incoming administration's perception of accreditors and so on. What do you do? What kind of conversation are you having internally? You know what? Business as usual. We're going to make sure institutions have the rigor that they're supposed to have and put out great outcomes, and we take whatever comes. Do you have a preparation process, or what are you doing, the three of you, to, I don't know, is there prepare or not?
We do our job. I mean, that's straight up simple. We do our job.
Mic drop.
And when, we've worked with this administration previously, and we've had success with that administration, and we're going to have success again. There's nothing to prepare for when you're doing your job and you're standing on the principles of what makes the institution successful and what we're doing to support them. So we do our job. If we had to spend time preparing for it, then we haven't been doing our work up till this point.
Yeah, staying on mission, continuing to do the work, staying true to who we are. And I think that we're in a really wonderful quality assurance organization with amazing people that work throughout the network. And we just will continue to do the work, and work with whoever it is that comes into power.
Because it's not unlike that. It's not like we haven't had administration changes before.
Exactly.
This is what life has been. It's you know what? We will still have students enter higher education. We still have to enroll them. We have to retain them. We have to create great outcomes. We have to make sure that the education is worthwhile and relevant, and we market it and so on. None of that changes no matter who's in office.
And we keep students at the center.
Exactly.
And we always keep students at the center.
Heather, anything to add to that?
Well, I just think one important reminder is that we had a Trump administration previously, and our commission worked well with the department, and we are always responsive to their feedback and their policy directions, and obviously we consider them in the work that we do. Some of the regulatory ping pong certainly has us always attuned to changes and always updating our commission and keeping them informed. But the reality is, we worked with the Trump administration previously, and we were successful with doing that. There's also processes to inform the work of the department and federal regulations. But from a policy perspective, we appreciate the opportunity to contribute to changing policy. Nothing can stay the same, and so we are certainly always looking forward anyway. And so this gives us an opportunity to consider any kinds of policy shifts that might come our way, and we're ready to do what we do, which is stand proud of our work and stand as proud partners in the regulatory triad. I always like to remind you, it's not just us there. It's the states and the Department of Education, and we are a triad that contributes to the quality of education for students in their communities.
It's a good point, because it's like there are many that think the accreditor. It's the accreditor is one piece of a very complex puzzle. Very, very complex. States, federal, it's all... The higher ed is designed to be a little bit hard. We have 1,600 of your colleagues here. What do you hope for this conference? It's record attendance. When everybody walks away in a couple of days, Davie, you first, what do you hope that they take away?
I don't need to hope. I know.
Ooh.
I know that they will
Have you done podcasting before? Because I feel like...
a sound effect for that? There has to be a sound effect for that.
I learned from you.
Yeah, I've got stuff, but now it's past.
Yeah.
So thanks for calling me out live here on the Attendees podcast.
So I don't hope I know. I know that they will leave feeling rewarded for the work they do. I know that they will leave with new colleagues and friends. I know that they will leave with new ideas. And they'll go back with an energy that is necessary by the end of the fall semester.
They're going to go back to their institution and say something like this?
Oh, no. It's time now to turn this mush into muscles.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But for
maybe
me,
some extra motivation.
Yeah, I don't. There's no doubt in my mind that they will leave energized.
Kate?
Well, I certainly agree with everything that Davie said, but I would also add that I hope that they will create some really good connections with colleagues in similar institutions or in aspirational institutions, so they'll have opportunities to continue those discussions as we move forward. That I know that there's a lot of change happening in higher education, and the best way to navigate it is to do it in community. And so I'm hoping that greater community will arise out of this conference, as it has every conference before. So I have no doubt that it will. And the last thing I'd say is be inspired a bit. As we saw, the plenary today was inspiring. I think they will continue to be also inspired by some of the words, not necessarily always by the plenary, but maybe a side conversation you have with a colleague that just says the right thing that you needed to hear as you move back to your campus to do the work. So get a little inspiration as well.
Oh, it's the side conversations, too, like the after conversation that you just go, I got to go back. I got to do this. I got to do something with this. I just talked to Kate. She inspired me. I got to go back. I got to talk to my staff. That's what really matters in these conferences, right? Great speakers spark the conversation to action. Heather, what do you want everybody to take away?
Well, I think that both Davie and Kate really conveyed what I would hope as well. I think it is about community. We often feel so siloed at our campuses, and coming here and hearing that others have the same challenges or others have the same opportunities, and walking away feeling a sense of community and solidarity. And of course, one of our goals as a commission is for institutions to walk away with an understanding that we are partners in their work, and not to see us in any other way than that we are here to help, that we recognize there are challenges. We expect institutions to be managing those challenges, and that we are the best source of advice in terms of those challenges and opportunities, and making sure that they understand the expectations with the commission or how it might fit under our standards, and also that they leave ready to celebrate the work that we do. I think that was part of the messaging at the plenary. We haven't been a good, strong, solid, collective narrative, and let's get it out there. Let's really begin to drive the conversation that we want this conversation to be.
That is why the EdUp experience came to be, by the way, because we wanted to provide microphones, literally, for people to say the good things that they believe we're doing in higher education. In fact, I want you both know, Davie and Kate, that Heather didn't invite me here this year. I just showed up with my equipment, and I said this.
You'll have to kill me to be finished with me.
And I just said, I'm going to set up the mics, and I'm going to talk to people. She said, fine. No, she didn't invite me.
And we put you right out front.
She put right out front. She's like, you know. But the idea is that we use this time to use every channel possible. The EdUp experience, probably, in my opinion, is the best for positive conversations about higher ed. to be able to give you all the microphone to talk about the work you're doing is my honor to be able to do that. And I feel it's a privilege because I know the work that you do to serve these institutions who many are floundering now. Many are floundering, and it's tough times. And you have to have good partners, of what Middle States is one. Anything else you guys want to say to the audience before we wrap it up? You're supposed to wait 7 seconds of uncomfortable silence.
It's an exciting time to be in higher education. I know that sometimes when people are thinking there's a lot of change, that's negative. But, it's also exciting. And so I look forward to the opportunities that the change will bring for us as we move forward.
For me, it's an echo of what I heard this evening. The key to our future, of our state, of our humans, and of our country is grounded in higher education. Education in general, K-12 as well as higher education. And there could not be something more exciting for all of us to think about and to put our efforts and our energy and our vision to work.
I think it's fair to leave the final word with the outgoing chair. What do you think, Heather?
I think so, and I think what I would say before kicking it back to her is I want to thank Joe. I appreciate all the ways that he makes an effort to bring good information forward for the higher education community, and I know that this podcast has exploded in so many ways and is so popular, and we are honored to have you here with us. And I have to thank Davie and Kate. This is Davie's last conference as chair.
Maybe next year she's my co-host.
I think she may be. We will have to get her back here for sure. And also thank Kate because, we all know how critical boards are to the good functioning of an organization. And I couldn't have asked for better leaders to lead with and learn from and really enjoy the experience of partnering to make higher education better. And these two have done that for us. And so we really are fortunate. And that's how I would want to end my remarks. And then, of course, we have to go to Davie to wrap things
words,
up.
Davie.
Well, I have to tell you that if you're not paying attention to Ed Up, you need to. And seriously, I look at it, I follow it on social media. It's thought-provoking. It's reaffirming what we believe about the higher education, the challenges and the opportunities. So if you're listening today and you're not out there paying attention, it's time. Get on board and listen to Ed Up.
Maybe there's an Ed Up spinoff hosted by Davie Gilmour in her spare time talking. Maybe
she's the busiest retired person I know.
Maybe there's no space for that. We'll talk at a later date. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here live. The Middle States Commission on Higher Education annual conference in Philadelphia. Doctors Perfetti, Dr. Gilmour, Dr. Conway Turner, Chair-elect, and President CEO, not necessarily in that order. You've just Ed Upped.
Now listen up.
Insights EDU 2025 is almost here. Join us February 12th through 14th in New Orleans for the most anticipated higher education marketing and enrollment management event of the year.
I like that.
Imagine 3 action-packed days filled with game-changing insights, real-world case studies, and a hands-on workshop designed to transform your marketing strategy and boost your program enrollment. Learn from speakers at Google, Meta, Reddit, MIQ Digital, and top schools across the nation. Network with industry leaders, exchange ideas, and discover the tools to drive real results. This is your opportunity to stay ahead of the competition and meet the demands of today's modern learners. Don't wait. Spots are filling fast. Mark your calendar, rally your team, and head to insightsedu.com to register now. The era of the modern learner is here, and you need to be part of it. We'll see you in New Orleans. Ellucian Live is taking place April 6th through 9th, 2025 in Orlando, Florida.
You just made the list.
Get ready for an unforgettable experience at Ellucian Live 2025. Join visionary leaders from institutions worldwide as we dive into groundbreaking ideas, cutting-edge solutions, and transformative best practices that will ignite your passion for innovation. This is your chance to connect, collaborate, and propel your institution into the future. Do not miss out.
Let's go! Do you want to get invites to special events? Do you want to get exclusive early access to ad-free episodes, extended episodes, bonus episodes, behind-the-scenes episodes, and original content? Do you want to accelerate your professional development? Well, you can go to edupexperience.com. That's experience.com and become a subscriber today.